Hello friends, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com. If you've been enjoying these videos, if you'd like me to continue making new content, please be sure to make sure you subscribe to my channel and also be sure to click like on this video. So I get a lot of questions about vetting potential partners, sometimes vetting potential partners for marriage or even just for a long-term relationship. And the concept of vetting is a topic that's rather contentious. A lot of people have very extreme views on this topic. If you're a man looking to vet a woman for marriage, I think the best book on this topic by far is by Dr. Sean T. Smith. It's called The Tactical Guide to Women. I'll post a link to that in the description. Highly recommend you read this book. But if you want an example of how not to vet a potential partner, I think there's no better show that you can watch than my favorite sort of garbage TV show that I watch. I don't watch a lot, but I can't look away from this show. It's called 90 Day Fiancé. It's a big hit right now in America. Maybe you've seen the videos or clips on YouTube. Basically, people, I think almost all Americans, they meet a partner online and they have some kind of connection with these people from countries all over the world, whether it's Russia or Colombia or wherever, Europe. And they bring them back to the United States and they have 90 days to basically, I think, get married. Because if they don't marry within this 90-day window, their potential partner has to go back to their home country, hence 90 Day Fiancé. And if you watch this show, I've watched far too much of this show than I care to realize. There are constant patterns that you see. There are trends, right? And I'm a guy, as I've mentioned this channel many times, I like to look for patterns, I like to look for trends, to learn what to do as well as what not to do in any given scenario in life. And there's a few trends that you see constantly on this show of people making terrible relationship decisions based on terrible vetting. The number one trend I see, and this is not for everyone in the show, I want to make that clear. This is just for, I would say, a majority of people in the show. The number one trend I see is poor self-esteem. Everything flows from this. If you think that you don't deserve a whole lot in life, that you don't deserve a whole lot from a potential partner, guess what? You're probably not going to get a whole lot. You're probably going to attract partners who are not very good for you. You'll probably attract people who are going to take advantage of your low self-esteem and make you do things you don't want to do and maybe extract resources from you, get money out of you, or violate your trust. And it's going to lead to all kinds of drama and complications because you're not coming from a place of abundance and abundance in terms of self-esteem. If you don't think you deserve much, you're not going to probably get very much. And frequently on this terrible TV show, which I can't believe I'm admitting I'm a big fan of, on this trashy TV show, you see all these people who feel like they don't deserve very much and thus they don't get very much from potential partners. It's really sad, but you see it over and over. So if you're looking to vet someone for a long-term relationship or marriage, be sure that you're working on your self-esteem. Be sure that you value yourself accordingly. Be sure that you have certain expectations, certain standards, so you can successfully prevent the people from entering your life who are not going to be good for you, who are not going to treat you with the respect, the love, the care, the attention that you deserve. The other trend I see, which is kind of baked into the nature of the show, as I mentioned a moment ago, the other trend I see in people making horrible relationship decisions is rushing into things way too fast. And obviously, if people are traveling and there's this 90-day window in terms of moving things along, I get it. But just in general, I think we could all benefit from slowing our relationships down a bit, slowing our dating down a bit. Because when you're sleeping with someone, when there's all these new hormones activated and you're getting these dopamine rushes and all this stuff, it's very easy to dive into, making these really, really rapid, really substantial relationship decisions, such as moving in together or buying a love puppy. You probably all know couples who do this. They've been dating for 2 months and then they buy a dog or a cat. It's like a trial run for a baby. Or getting married or whatever it is, making big joint purchases. You see so many couples moving so fast. And this just puts a whole bunch of added pressure on the situation. This inspires people to act out of fear, to make rash decisions that aren't going to serve them long term, when, as Dr. Smith talks about in his wonderful book, we could all benefit from slowing things down a bit, giving someone time to show themselves, to really show you who they are over an extended period of time. Because I don't think you can really know someone in a month or 90 days or even 6 months or maybe not even a year. It takes time to really get to know someone. And for someone to get to know us, and for both of us to know whether or not we're really suited for each other. So You see on the show people all the time just rushing into things way too fast, and unsurprisingly, this often blows up in their faces. The other trend I see, which is just rampant throughout the show, is really idealized, romanticized, unrealistic ideas about love. And the way these people throw the word love out there. I mean, they know someone for a few days or a week, and they're just throwing that word out there, like it's nothing. And I think the word love carries some heft. I think it carries some weight. I think you should be conscious about, how easy you're giving your love out to people. And again, making sure the person you're offering your heart to, making sure the person who you're offering your love to is actually worthy, that they're going to respond in kind, that it's going to be a healthy dynamic. And love is absolutely crucial in terms of having a long-term relationship. I do believe that. However, there are other things involved that are also very important, like compatibility. Can you actually live with this person day to day? Or are your personalities just not matched at all? It's just going to be a constant headache because you're two different people. I've had this experience, maybe you have too, where there's an enormous amount of love there. However, the actual practical day-to-day realities, the actual compatibility issue is still there. Love cannot always triumph over some severe compatibility issues. Another trend, pedestalizing. Anyone who's taken my online course, Get Over Your Partner's Past Fast, or who's read my guidebook, Overcoming Retroactive Jealousy, knows that I'm very big on tearing down the pedestal which you've put your partner on. Your partner is a mammal, your partner is a human being, your partner is mortal. They're not a queen, they're not a king, they're not a princess, they're not a prince. They don't want to be pedestalized. They don't want to be held up as this icon of virtue, They're a human being. They mess up sometimes. They have mistakes. They have flaws, And frequently on this show, it just makes me cringe so hard because you see these guys, particularly guys, just incredible supplicating to their partners and, treating them like a queen and not really showing up as a man, not calling their partner on their BS when it comes up and not setting boundaries down, not being a strong masculine presence. Instead, you have these guys who are basically kissing ass and supplicating to their partners and not really being a conscious, integrated man. And again, unsurprisingly, the women don't respond well to this, at least not over a long period of time, because it's boring. No one wants to be treated as some goddess on earth or some princess, People are human. People want to be seen and appreciated as a fully formed three-dimensional human, not some princess or prince or goddess, Part of the reason this is so damaging and so dangerous, pedestalizing someone, is because the moment they slip up, the moment we find out something about them that we don't like, or find out some annoying little characteristic or personality trait, or maybe we find out something from their past that doesn't quite square with this idealized vision we painted of them, all of a sudden they come crashing down and we start seeing them completely differently because we thought they were this goddess and they turned out to be this other thing, and it's very confusing. Whereas if you enter any relationship with the expectation that your partner is messed up just like you, you're going to have a much better time. You're going to be able to roll with the bumps in the road more easily. You're going to be able to have more fun with them. And in my view, it's essential, especially for guys, to see their partners not as goddesses, not as princesses, but simply as human beings, messed up just like the rest of us. Finally, and I could go on, by the way, there's so many glaring trends in this show, but another huge trend I see is people ignoring glaring red flags. Glaring red flags. One woman on the show, comes to America, and we only find out later that, oh, by the way, she's got 2 kids back in Brazil, which nobody knows about, which she barely has any contact with, etc., etc. There are such a thing as red flags sometimes. If you find something in your partner's past that is really deeply shocking and probably indicative of future problems, future conflicts, a gulf in values between your values and your partner's values, it's not going to work. So it's very important to get some outside perspective. Get on a coaching call with someone you trust, or talk to a close friend or a family member. Talk to them about things you might suspect are glaring red flags, get their honest feedback. Because again, when we're in the throes of romantic love, when our hormones are jacked and we're having all kinds of sex and we're just spiked with dopamine, it's tough to think clearly, tough to be honest about the glaring red flags that maybe everyone around us can see, but we can't. So it's very important to get some outside perspective from someone you trust, and hopefully this will help you make better decisions in terms of whether or not to pursue a long-term relationship with this person. Thanks for listening to my little rant about 90 Day Fiancé. If you found this interesting in any way, please be sure to click the thumbs up button below. If you want more of this content, I could do more of this if you want. Leave a comment below. Also be sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you again very soon.